Welcome to the 2008 World Juggling Federation Championships. I'm John Wee, and I'm joined by Owen Morse and Jason Garfield. Today we're starting off with the juniors competition and then moving on to the women's club division. Gentlemen, welcome to WJF 5.
Why, thank you, sir. 5 years in the making, and you're not going to believe how high the skill level is in this juniors competition.
You know, it's one thing to watch these competitions, but since you created the rules, Jason, why don't you explain how this competition will be judged?
Sure, because, I haven't done enough of that.
No.
Here's the simple part of the rules. Each competitor has 3 minutes to execute up to 30 moves. Now they can do less than 30 moves, but no more. Now the complicated part. The juniors competition is comprised of 23 compulsory moves, 10 with balls, 10 with rings, and 3 with clubs. Now the competitors can do more difficult versions of the compulsory moves for bonus points, but the substitutions must demonstrate the compulsory skill set. For example, 3-ball overheads is a compulsory move, but you could do a 3-ball overhead side swap variation or overheads with 5 balls for bonus points. Either way, it must be an overhead move with balls. All competitors must execute the minimum compulsory number of moves with each OSC, Object Skill category. So they must do 10 ball moves, 10 ring moves, and then at least 3 club moves, and all including the object skill sets within each object skill category. Bonus points are also awarded for connecting moves together without any basic throws in between. A basic throw is any throw that is not part of either connected move. And we'll show you examples of failed connections for this reason during the routines. There's always plenty to point out in every division. Deductions are given for moving the feet, collisions, aborts, drops, and falling down. And there have been some falls in the past, so if juggling isn't doing it for you, maybe humans falling down while trying to juggle will keep you amused.
All right, so we're going to start off the WJF Juniors competition with Jack Denger.
Starting off with 3 rings. We have 360 into reverse cascade. 1 up 360. Trying to connect that to pancakes.
On and off the head exchanges, that's a compulsory move with 3 rings. Moving on to 4 rings, demonstrating the compulsory async and sync qualifying patterns.
4-ring half shower. You notice some of these moves are just compulsory moves, so the bare minimum that you have to do. A lot of the competitors, including Jack, have upped the difficulty by doing compulsory skill sets with higher numbers of objects.
And now this is a compulsory move, 6 behind the back throws with 3 balls, but if he did back crosses with 5 balls, he'd get bonus points. But he does get bonus points for connecting the 2 compulsory moves. All right, he's doing a great job. It's really good to see competitors getting this early a start in life. You know that if he's this good and getting this comfortable with competing now, he's just going to get better and better.
Yeah, at 11 years old, I mean, these side swap combinations and 360 connections into 6x4.
Yeah.
At this age, I mean, he's only 11 years old. I mean, just wait until he's 12,
Yeah,
13, 14.
I hadn't learned to juggle till I was 13. So.
Right.
Also, getting early experience on stage, too, will help a lot with being able to calm his nerves later on, either performing or competing.
And Owen, let's make a pact and not talk too much about all the tricks that the juniors can do that we can't.
Yeah, that's probably
I don't
best.
see any need for that.
Now look at this, 3 clubs, 3 up 360. Look at the control over the spins, all on the
Spins into
handles.
flats.
Very nice.
Not done, 3 up in the
Oh my,
back
look at
crosses.
Right, directly connected. 2-stage 720, perfect, all caught on the handles.
Really nice 3 club routine.
Four club singles, and look at that with the reverse
Penguin throws.
penguin throws.
Oh, penguin catches is what we're calling those. Right again.
That's an advanced level move, especially with 4 clubs, but it's not working for him, so he's deciding to move on, which is smart.
All right, moving on to 5 clubs now. Really solid 5 club pattern. Wow.
Look at that, 3 up 360 on the first
Wow.
try.
Yeah, and into
Look at
singles.
that. And then into singles.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he's in the next
Time is
year.
called.
So here's his 7-ball qualifying run. Really nice pattern. Here's that 3 up 360 in singles connected right to flat throws.
Beautiful.
And then again, 3 up 360 in
Back
flats.
crosses.
Yeah. And look at how flat those back crosses are. That's what we're talking about, the foundation of skill. His back crosses are set up now. 5 club back crosses won't be that hard for him to learn.
So Jack Denger receives a 17.5. Remember, this competition is based on a 6-point compulsory move requirement. So getting a 17.5 really demonstrates a significantly higher skill level than required.
And we're only getting started. Up next is Nathan Hertz.
Now, Nathan won the 2007 WJF Training Camp Overall Championship, and that was 1 year ago, and his improvement since then is just enormous. Starting off with a 3 up 360 in singles. A lot of quick connections here. I can't even keep up. Nice back crosses as well. I believe the clubs are almost as tall as he is. It's really strange to see. Look at these amazing connections. 4 club, 2 up 360 in the flats. To see such a high level of skill coming from such a small human.
The
Yes.
club is almost as tall as he is.
That's amazing.
Well, that was an incredible level of skill demonstrated in a very short amount of time with no errors at all.
He and Jack, and really all of the juniors competitors are. It's going to be really interesting to see how quickly some of them get into the advanced competitions and then what they're able to do once they're in there.
Now that was not a valid connection. You can't do a pull down right after a 360 and still get points for the 360. You have to qualify the pattern first before doing the pull down.
And unlike competitors like Vova, these junior competitors, because of the compulsories, are almost forced to learn balls, clubs, and rings at an early age.
Sure.
So they very well may be better advanced competitors than the ones we have now. Only the amount of throws he needed.
Right. He moves along. He's got an agenda here.
Good use of time.
I've got some tricks and I'm ready to show you.
I'm not going to waste time with any more than I need to do, and he apparently knows how to count, and he's making all the right amount of throws.
He's read the rule book.
So are his parents thrilled or panicked right now?
Oh, they're panicked.
My son is an incredible juggler. What does this mean?
Unlike some of the other competitors who only juggle, I mean, he's really well-rounded in other sports. He plays football and baseball throughout the year in addition to his juggling practice.
Wow. And the juggling's just got to help the hand-eye coordination in these other sports.
Yeah. He's not dropping the football.
Nope. Got a solid 6-ball routine there, and now moving on to 7. Nope.
Oh, a little bit of trouble.
He's gonna get it this time.
And he's rushing just a little bit here. And you can see how he's not following through with the second throw, and it's coming in too low and behind him.
Oh, come on.
These are just rushing errors. He needs to take his time and focus.
There you go. Harness it.
14. 14.
You just want to root for him, don't you?
The boy can count.
Done.
Yes.
14 catches clean. Look at that. The 2-up 360. Look at those flat throws.
Beautiful.
Look at the control over those throws. Again, just the amount of throws he needed to make. Gets out of it. Moves on.
He counts more accurately than some of the adult competitors.
A lot of them.
And that is a 5-up.
5-up 360 at 11 years old. I wasn't even juggling 5 until I was 12.
This is great. And Nathan Hertz receives a 13.69, still much higher than the skill requirement, and I'm pretty sure most, if not all, scores this year will be higher than 6.0. We'll be back with more from the 2008 World Juggling Federation Championships after this.
Welcome back to the 2008 World Juggling Federation Championships. We're continuing with the WJF Juniors competition. Next up is Spencer Hearn.
Now, Spencer won second place in the WJF Juniors sponsorship competition this year. He received a free convention package for his win. Laugha Benjaminson, who we'll be seeing a little later on, won first place. So that's really impressive to do a blind catch like that. His feet did not move at all. That means that he set up that throw just the right distance behind his body to bend over the right amount and catch it and stay planted.
Yeah.
I do have to say, black balls, black backdrop, black shirt. Not sure if that's the best choice, but...
Maybe a
Is he juggling?
Yeah, I think he's juggling. I see his arms moving.
He's chosen a relaxing soundtrack for his...
It's one way to keep your nerves from getting too heightened.
Why not?
He looks a little stiff and seems to be leaning back just a little bit too much. I like to see him try to relax a little more. It almost looks like he's trying to stay back from the pattern, which is just not necessary.
He is juggling.
There we go.
There it is. I can totally see that.
You can see half the balls now.
Very nice control over the 6-ball pattern in sync and async.
So a couple of different 6-ball moves there. Async and sync and a multiplex move. Multiplex move is one of the compulsory moves.
And just demonstrated some 3-club body throws for bonus points. The compulsory moves for 3 clubs only consist of the basic pattern in singles, doubles, and 1 triple, so body throws should score fairly high.
Now those back crosses worry me a little bit because they almost look like shoulder throws, and that's going to be more difficult when you start adding more objects to them.
That's nice, the reverse.
A nice connection sequence, but I would really recommend if you're working on back crosses to make sure that they are parallel to your front when you're throwing them in there.
Them in a plane with your body, yeah.
360 connected to full reverse.
That was nice.
And connecting that to on and off the neck exchanges right into the sync full reverse. That's a nice one. We call that a super pancake pull down. Because the first throw of the pull down was the pancake throw.
Right.
As opposed to pulling down a couple and then making a pancake.
And then you got to sneak those others in before that pancake comes
Right.
down.
You have a limited amount of time to pull down the rings before that pancake has to slam right over your head. And a lot of times, we've seen this in competition before, the ring just bounces off the top of their head if they don't flip it just right.
That leaves a mark.
That hurts
Yeah.
and angers me. Only when it happens to me, though. It actually brings me joy when it happens to
when it
other
happens
people.
to someone else, it's downright fun, isn't it?
All right, so there's that connection. 4 of 360 right into the full reverse, and then on and off the neck exchanges. Here comes the super pancake pull down.
All right.
Pancake
Pancakes.
first, pull down, pull down, pull down, pancake, neck catch. There might have been a sink
Yeah,
kind
pancake.
of pull down pancake throw, but whatever.
And Spencer receives a 19.64, the highest score so far. All right, well, that puts him in the lead for now, but up next is Matthew Parashow.
Actually lost his uniform in a taxi on the way from the airport to WJF5. And
Really?
Oh, no.
that was his story.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's why he's wearing the WJF5. That doesn't excuse any of you in the future. You can't use that excuse anymore. We've got new rules.
Yeah, the taxi excuse.
And don't say bus. We're not gonna
Taxi
go for
precedent.
it. He's trying a really long sequence here. Let's see if he's going to do it again. 3 up 360, connected to a 2-stage 540.
Wow.
Connected to another 180 and then into back crosses. Those are nice looking back crosses too from
And
the
then-
side.
Still, I don't think he's thrown a
Yeah,
No basic throws.
basic throw yet.
Look at all these connections.
reverse back crosses. That was a really high-scoring connection sequence. All bonus moves and all connected together. It's going to take quite a few mistakes to make a dent in that score.
And moving right on to 5 clubs now. 3 up 360.
There's a mistake, and also notice that he keeps walking to his right with the basic pattern. He needs to learn how to adjust the pattern so that he doesn't have to walk to keep it going, and that's probably why he's dropping on the 360.
Not sure if he's if it's worth it to try it again at this point.
Let's see what he does.
Looks like he's going for it again. Yep, here he goes.
Only makes 9 throws after the 360, so he doesn't qualify the pattern. He gets no points for the 360s, so he just racked up a bunch of deductions and 0 points. And that probably took down his score quite a bit from that 3-club connection sequence.
Boy, and now it seems he's lost his focus, dropping on some very simple 3-ball moves in comparison to what he's been demonstrating earlier with clubs.
That's a 5 up 360 connected to 645.
Here's another pretty long connection sequence starting with a 5 up 360. 5 up 6x4 360. And still continuing with 180 into 744.
He's given this routine a lot of thought.
Yeah. Connecting a lot of moves together. Only saw the basic pattern for a few throws in the beginning and now right there. 2 up 3 up 180s.
Connecting things.
He's failing on a couple of his qualifications after 180s, like that last one.
Yeah.
He went into the multiplex move a little bit too soon.
Wow,
That is a solid
That's a
7.
beautiful
Nice.
7 ball
No
pattern.
question on that one.
So at this point, he may have made up for those 5-club and 3-ball errors. So he started off strong, lost some points, but now I think he just got them back and he could still be ahead.
And these ring moves look pretty comfortable for him, and they're mostly all bonus points.
We saved the rings for last. I'm guessing he doesn't like rings.
He did a 2-ring flash there at the end.
Yeah.
It was
Maybe some deductions for that.
odd finale.
Here's that connection. So that's
5 up 360 connected to 645.
into a 3 up 360, staggered to go into 6x4. But he's not done there because right after this, 5 up 360 in 6x4, back into 6x4. And then I believe he's got more. But he changes the pattern. Yeah, and then connected to a 3 up 180, connected to 744.
Wow.
Chock full.
That was something.
It's almost as difficult to call it in slow motion as it is to do it.
A few bumps in there, but Matthew Parashow manages to come out with a 22.12, now putting him in the lead.
But it's not over yet. Our final competitor from Denmark is Laugha Benjaminson. Now, I know Laugha's from Denmark because I had to pay for his flight, which was the grand prize for winning the WJF sponsorship competition. Laugha received a round-trip flight from Denmark to Las Vegas and back, hotel accommodations for 2 and 2 free convention packages.
Well, you'd think because he's Dutch, he would have paid half.
Maybe next year
No?
we'll put that into effect.
All right.
Looks very happy to be here. All these months preparing, winning the competition, getting a free trip here, and now it's his turn to show what he's got.
He's got a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm.
It almost seems like those spins are so natural, it almost seems like when he's not spinning, he's trying not to spin.
Yeah, it's effortless.
Just harnessing the spin energy in between,
right.
Like, almost like a video game where you have to power up and then spin like your life depends on
And
it.
it just happens so quickly. You're not even sure it happened.
You gotta check the slow-mo replay to see if he actually spun.
Did he go
doesn't
around?
need to alter his pattern to throw in a 360.
No.
He just does it.
Whenever you want, just throw one in there.
There it is.
Wow, that really...
You blink and you miss it.
And for all I know, that was a 720. I'm not really sure.
Maybe more.
Oh, there's the that's the pancake pull down I'm talking about. It wasn't a super pancake pull down, but it was still within the pull down sequence.
We're on to 7.
Come on, come on. Oh,
A little slicing
that was
collision.
narrow. That's a narrow pattern. One's got more promise. Yeah.
15 catches, that qualifies.
That'll work.
On their clubs. One thing that's interesting is I think every single competitor uses PX3 juggling clubs. Every single one of them.
Wow. And now moving on to 4 clubs, 2 up 360 connected to triple rotations.
And singles?
A little bit of walking and bouncing around, minor deductions for that, but they do add up.
Now balls is his specialty. He had to learn back crosses for this competition because it is a compulsory move.
Look at that.
That's not just a whirlwind. That's a 3-stage 1440.
That's right.
That's a 360 under each set of each ball thrown, plus 2 spins at the end.
Yeah.
720 at the end.
There's a 6x4 pattern again. 3 up 360. 9 7
Connected
5 3
9
1.
Oh, my.
5 3 1s.
Compulsory multiplex throws into a 3 up 180. Didn't qualify that after the 720 though. There's a 1 high 4 low, 5 up 360 into 744.
There we go.
He's pleased. As well he should be.
Yeah, he should be.
One of the more excited and vocal competitors.
Really well done.
Here's that 3-stage 1440.
1, 2, 3,
How about
4.
a couple there?
Wow.
And then he waits for it. He waits
He had
for
time to
it.
wait. Could have gotten a cup of coffee and come back.
Yeah.
My.
And who knows how many dimensions he saw during the sequence of that move. See, so now this connection, he didn't get enough throws of the 744, so he doesn't get the connection, but he did qualify the 5-ball pattern, so he gets the 1 high 4 low, 5 up 360 points, but not the connection or the subsequent move.
That's what I was going to say. And Laugha receives a 15.75.
He just missed out on some really important connections and qualifications. Remember, you can't win this competition with just a few big moves. It's a combination of difficult moves, difficult connections, and as many connections as possible, and of course minimizing the errors, which of course everyone seems to have.
So the final standings puts Jack Denger in 3rd place, Spencer Hearn in 2nd place, and Matthew Parashow in 1st place.
Up next is the women's club competition.
5 competitors spanning the globe from the U.S., Russia, Italy, and Switzerland. 2 are from the U.S., for those of you who are counting. We'll be back with more from the 2008 World Juggling Federation Championships after this.
Welcome back to the 2008 World Juggling Federation Championships. We're continuing with the WJF Women's Club Division competition.
So we're starting off the women's club competition with Lindsay Spurka. Now these competitions are formatted differently from the juniors competition. This is just clubs, just women, 30 move max, 3-minute time limit. There is no minimum skill level requirement, no compulsories, just show us what you got.
Starting with a 3-up multiplex into flats.
5-3-1, I believe that's called. 2-up 360.
I didn't even know that she juggled very much. I know she's been juggling with Vova for a couple of years, and he's been training her, but I was really amazed to see how far she's come in such a short period of time. She needs to spend a little more time making sure the clubs are pointed in the right direction. As you can see on those 2-up 360s, the ends of the clubs are pointed back at the side they came from, which is not quite correct.
And that's a tough combination. These are blind catches. And she just moves along. Probably a smart move.
First-time competitor.
Yeah.
You know that nerves are a factor.
Oh, first head collision I think we've seen, though, in any of these competitions. But those are soft, lightweight clubs. She'll be fine.
Not as painful as they look.
And it does take her longer than most competitors to pick the club off of the ground since she's so high up.
And she doesn't seem to be rushing things either.
No, she seems relaxed as you can be in competition. Without medication, I suppose. Going for a kick up in 3 to 4 clubs. Oh, into a triple single. No, that's an alternating.
Yeah, an alternating pattern.
Now you look at those angles. They're a little too narrow, but at least they're pointed in the right direction. So it is possible that she may get up to 6 clubs at some point. Not in this routine, but I mean, she's got the foundation for that set, I believe. She must have some fairly large hands to be able to catch 2 clubs in one hand with one of the clubs being the other hand. Yeah. And in that case, that is the wrong end.
Nice 2-up sink 360. Feet coming right back together.
Good control over the singles and also the flats she did earlier with 3 clubs. The flats really help you. Flats help you learn how to control those singles also. She's trying a behind the back exchange here. 3 up and a behind the back.
And trouble on that exchange.
It's just a handoff.
She's just not getting her hands close enough to each other. It's almost a throw the way she's doing it there. And that's
Still, very nice.
That's how you should.
And she shows us
if it were a 1-club move.
She nailed it.
Yeah, that's how it'd be done. See, the angle's a little off on those first 2. Angled back in the direction from where they came from. You want them to be angled into the direction that they're going. So if it's going to the left side, you want it to be pointed in that direction also. So you see that club just kind of slipped out of her hand because she never really put it in there.
So Lindsay Spurka scores a 2.3, suffering from a lot of drops, and the deduction judges just live for those.
It gives them purpose. Up next, after 3 years off from the women's division, is Olga Galchenko from Russia.
Whenever you're ready.
Looking a little worried. She should be fine. Nothing to worry about. You're an old pro at this point, Olga. Olga's now 18 years old and can drive.
Yeah, but here's another competitor that does have a strong foundation of skill, so to get it back, even if she hadn't practiced in a couple of years, at least, a week of practice, she could at least get back to where she was.
Yeah. Yeah, she has an amazing amount of skill.
Demonstrating that very tricky combination with those back throws.
A lot of blind catches there.
Yeah.
Now she's combining that with between the leg throws. A little bit of tippy toe action there, though. I prefer to see the foot planted on the ground, but not horrible. She's staying in one spot.
Oh, nice 180 with a behind the back pass. And a 1-up 720. Very clean. Oh, but only 5 throws after the 720. You need to qualify the pattern after the 720. So she needed 6 throws. Falls just 1 throw short.
Even with 3 clubs, you still have to qualify it. There's no exceptions just because it's easy.
3 up, 360 back into doubles.
I do like the color combination she's got going on here with the blue shorts and the blue clubs. Blue and shiny, those are really nice looking clubs. Those are the WJF Masters series.
Mollified by shiny objects.
Seems to be going okay for Olga when she's smiling. She's not upset, which is also true for myself. However, the inverse is not.
Triple single into one-handed back crosses.
She's doing a great job so far.
Yeah.
I think there was only 1 drop earlier.
This will be a tough routine to beat.
Connected right into singles. Well,
Mostly
some 1.5.
singles. Sure.
Singles mixed with 1.5.
That counts.
Moving on to 5.
And a smile.
It's not the happier competitors so far. There's nothing to be upset about yet, really. It's 3 up, 360.
Beautiful. Oh!
Let's see if the smile stays. I can wipe the smile right off your face.
Literally.
She also smiles a lot more when she's not juggling.
Yeah.
But I guess that's maybe true for all of us, huh?
Could be. There she goes. She qualifies it.
Yeah, more than qualifies the pattern. Nice 3 up, 360.
There we go.
And that's it. Really nice routine.
Very nice.
It's first year competing in the women's division since 2005.
Okay.
Another 3-year hiatus. Came back equally strong as she left, if not better. So you see she's doing a back cross throw and a catch behind the back at the same time.
Here's another look at that 3 up, 360.
Fairly well executed, not much walking around at all there.
Yeah, great job. All right, and with only 1 connection, Olga still manages to score a 4.7.
Up next is last year's Women's Club Division champion, Laura Ernst.
She won at the 2007 World Juggling Federation Championships in Hartford, Connecticut. But can she win in Las Vegas?
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, she opens with a very nice series of multiplex moves. Having some difficulty with these 5-club multiplexes. These are pretty high patterns, and without much control over your throws, the higher they go, the more out of reach they can become.
Seems like the women have keyed in on the color combination.
And that crazy wrist start is really interesting and creative. Watch this thing. Double flip around the wrist. And even when she does keep it going, there's a lot of walking around to catch the inaccurate throws.
Lots of different variations, all in multiplexes. And a scissor catch. And a slight bow. Now you see the difference between doing multiplex throws and actual continuous juggling patterns. Always more difficult to throw them one at a time. That wrist start again. I believe this is the same multiplex she did with 5, only now with 3 there.
Doesn't quite get all the way around that 180. Kind of walks and throws at the same time.
3 up, 360 attempt.
Well, it kind of looks like she's fighting with the clubs there a little bit. Not quite sure what you'd call that, but some flat crosshand
Crosshand
exchanges.
switch over, exchanges, some kind of exchanges under the arms.
And this behind the back club flip.
There's a lot of new moves that were done this year that we just don't have names for yet. So
I like to call it the behind the back passing zone club flip. That's a behind the back
Has a ring
passing
to it,
zone
doesn't it?
catch.
Now we know what that's called. That's a shower pattern. That's a 360 back into the shower pattern.
Doesn't quite close her hand around the handle in time there. That's a crucial part of making a catch.
Yeah, and even on fairly simple moves like the one-up 360, it's possible that she's just let all those earlier drops psych her out, and now everything's become difficult. You know, you drop so much, it's like, well, what can I do? And all these drops are probably just due to that right arm sticking way out to the side, so that's just not a good place for the throws to start from. They're going to come at a really wide angle and just not leave any room in the middle for any other throws.
See how far out that right hand is when it's making that throws. That's gonna just result in a really wide throw, and it's gonna result in more collisions. If you throw from the center, you can get a very narrow throw, and you can avoid the other clubs.
Even in those multiplex throws, look at how angled the right hand throws are. That's because of that arm starting way out to the side, and that's going to create a wide angle, kind of a wide throw, which she'll have to run around and kind of fight to keep from colliding with the other clubs.
And that's also why your basic cascade pattern doesn't last that long, because the arm goes further and further out, and the throws just get wider and wider, and very soon after starting, it's impossible to continue without colliding or dropping.
But gets the scissor catch.
So Laura Ernst earns a 4.3, 4/10 of a point behind Olga, putting her now in second place.
We'll be back with more from the 2008 World Juggling Federation Championships after this.
Welcome back to the 2008 World Juggling Federation Championships.
Coming up now is Chacilia Zucchetti from Italy.
Chacilia, at 17 years old, is the youngest of all the competitors in her division, just barely coming in younger than Olga Galchenko, who is 18. Chacilia also starting with a 3-club multiplex and then into back crosses.
And reverse back crosses, very good control so far.
That back cross combination again there with the behind the back catches, blind. First time in any competition as far as I know. Flew all the way from Italy to Las Vegas. Doing fairly well so far. 360 in the flat throws.
Doing great for a first-time competitor.
Here's something you usually see from Toby Walker.
Yeah.
He's reverse, almost shoulder throws, but then caught in reverse, and then again under the legs.
I guess you could call those reverse under the leg.
Nice 3-up 180 connected to overhead throws.
Stepping on her other club there.
Almost tripped on her. That could have been a disaster.
Could have twisted her ankle there, but
Yeah, I hate to
she's
see
young,
that.
and flexible, and
She'd heal fast.
malleable. Those are between the leg throws from one side with the toe pointed, which of course, again, I prefer to see the foot planted. Going for a 3 behind the back, catching one hand. A little. Oh, there's some style there.
All right. A few style points.
No
Or
points.
no
for that.
points.
No.
A few style moments.
Nice
let's
to
call
see,
them.
but it's fine to work that in as long as you don't make any mistakes. If you just want to establish a style for yourself, that's fine. But don't expect any points for it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Flats from one side there. One hand doing flats, the other continuing in doubles. That was nice. 3-up 360 connected to singles. Try it again. Oh, no. Didn't get
It's
as
that
far.
hand across, isn't it?
Yeah,
Not
and
doing
after you miss it twice, it's best just to move on, isn't it?
Just move on. Both for psychological reasons and also, to not waste time. Because the amount of time you spend trying to do something again that you
Right.
don't get, you could be getting points for something you can get. So
Sure.
there's a little bit of strategy involved with that. And just having to let go of the past.
Move on. That's what I'm told in therapy all the time. let it go.
And competing in these kind of competitions, it's like a crash course in therapy sessions.
Yes.
It really is.
Well,
it's psychologically very difficult.
Ah, beautiful.
Nice singles.
Doubles down to singles.
Yeah, you spend years training for this stuff, and you only have 3 minutes to show your best. And that alone can psych you out.
My experience has been you cannot believe how much you have forgotten about juggling when you walk out there onto a competition stage. Suddenly your skill just plummets.
Yeah.
So the fact that these competitors are doing these types of moves at this level in competition when they've got one shot, an audience watching, judges judging, it's amazing they can do some of these.
An impressive display for her first year in WJF competition, and Chacilia Zucchetti receives a 5.3, the highest score yet.
But hold on to your couscous, because up next is the powerhouse from Switzerland, Joelle Ugena.
Starting off with a nice connection to reverse back crosses into flats.
She's got great control over those flats. Keeps them nice and still.
Yeah. I don't want to even try to name that. The passing zone flying pretzel. Has a nice little wrap around the waist to behind the back catch.
Yeah. It appeared as if she's catching it on the wrong end, or the fat end, and then a half flip later, it's around her waist.
Look at the control over those 360s and singles, connected right into these reverse back crosses.
And a lot of great creativity from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some new moves we're seeing here. And a reverse scissor catch.
That's really nice looking. One hand back crosses, the other hand a parallel to front throw.
Oh, there's a new one. Let's see if she can get this. It's a really nice pattern.
Wow.
At least the flats are staying on their own level.
Yeah.
They're separate from the high throws.
Triple single, all in back crosses.
She worked out some nice transitions here
Yeah.
that seamlessly flow from one trick to the other.
Wow. Really nice control over those back crosses.
That's
too.
great.
Moving on to her 5 club routine. She seemed to have much better control over those multiplex throws. She wasn't walking around.
Oh, look at this.
Back crosses.
Back crosses with
That
double
looks
spins
pretty
back
solid.
into
Back into the pattern. A lot of people don't realize
Yeah.
that's a lot more difficult to go back into the pattern.
a 3F 180.
Only 9 throws after the 180 though, so it doesn't qualify the pattern. Gets no points for the 180.
Oh,
3-up 360 in the singles.
Singles.
We do the 3-up singles 360? No. 3-up 360 out of it, connected from the singles.
Get into doubles.
Going into triples. Quads. Much higher quads than Toby's, of course, but still quads. And, caught on the wrong end there on that last one. That's a minor deduction.
Unless she intended to. That's,
She's got to let us know she intends on doing that. Otherwise, we assume it's not intentional.
oh, and all 5 go
look at
up.
that.
5-up 360.
That's impressive.
One of the few female competitors in the world to be able to perform or compete with a 5-up 360.
The audience seems to know that and appreciate that.
And
And
again,
then into singles.
Look at that.
seems happy.
Yeah, really well done.
And the
She's
wave.
getting the wave.
One of the few competitors to get the wave.
So that's a crossing triple and a non-crossing flat throw at the same time, and then a 1, which is a hand across like a shower pattern, and another non-crossing flat thrown at the same time, which creates a really nice effect because both flats are thrown at the same height and both non-crossing, so it creates a box-like pattern while the triples alternate crossing from right to left and then left to right. And then connected to a half shower and flats as well.
There's those back crosses and doubles.
Solid. 10 perfect throws and then continuing back in the cascade pattern. And no surprise, Joelle takes the lead with an impressive score of 12.6, winning the 2008 women's division by a margin of 7.3 points, and beating the 2007 champion at the same time by a margin of 8.3 points.
I'd actually call that a slaughter.
It's a bludgeoning. It's a no-holds-barred cat fight.
It's a bunch of snap all over the place any way you slice it.
All right, so that concludes the WJF Juniors and Women's Club Division competitions.
Right, but before we go, for any of you who happen to have seen a 3-ball juggling video put to Beatles music on YouTube by some 80-year-old comedian, this year we wanted to show you all what can actually be done with 3 balls. And again, thanks to YouTube, I found a juggler from Germany named Falco Scheffler who demonstrated the best 3-ball juggling I've ever seen. Now, this isn't the same 3 moves done over and over again for 4 minutes to some music you may have some emotional attachments to if you're over 50. This is pure genius.
That's all the time we have for now, but be sure not to miss the 2008 WJF Overall Championship Series of competitions. Check your local listings for airtimes.
From the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm Owen Morse.
I'm John Wee.
And I'm the one you send your complaints to, Jason Garfield.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.